His right foot, clad in a blue slipper, shook nervously. After officials began administering the drugs at 12:09 a.m., Johnson blinked 3 times and let out a breath through puffed cheeks. His foot stopped shaking. His eyes slowly dimmed, became glassy, and closed to a crescent. He asked for a final meal of 3 fried chicken thighs, 10 or 15 shrimp, tater tots with ketchup, 2 slices of pecan pie, strawberry ice cream, honey and biscuits, and a Coke. I was living in Oklahoma, and I would read the morning paper. And in the morning paper in Oklahoma, they would print about executions the night before, and who was executed and what they were wearing and what they had for a final meal. And this was in 1999, and I hadn't really thought about final meals before. I guess I knew we had them, but I hadn't given it any thought. Seeing that in the newspaper first thing in the morning, I had a lot of questions. At that point, in 1999, capital punishment had never been something that hit home to me. I had no connection to it, but I read that menu in the newspaper and the specifics of that request, and I thought of meals that I prepared or meals that I'd had with my family, and I realized that we all have food in common, that this inmate who was just executed is a person who eats and has food requests and certain foods that they like, and even foods that tell us something about where they're from and what grows there, or where they grew up, or what they would like to eat, or what their mother cooked, comfort food. So all of a sudden, with reading that in the newspaper, it humanized death row for me. If we were asked what we would eat, or think about what meal would be most important to us, I related to that inmate. Those would be in the paper, sometimes more than one a day, and so I started collecting, just saving them, just going, that is really weird information, so specific, so personal, and I just put them in a folder and put it away, and at some point it kept bothering me. Art making can be a way to reflect and think about something. Maybe, I would like to say answer questions, but it doesn't even always answer the questions. You just think about it. It's just like a place to put that mental energy that you don't understand why our society is that way. At some point I did some sketches, paintings, little paintings on paper illustrating these meals. And then I decided to make it an art piece. When I teach at the university, I tell my students to match medium with content. So I thought, okay, food, what would make sense? So I tried embroidery on napkins. It takes a really long time to embroider a pile of French fries, like a day. And I thought, oh, plates, that makes a lot of sense. When I get ready to paint a plate, I actually will go down in the basement and look at my stack of 100 plates. If it's a lasagna, I'll choose a porcelain plate with gold trim because it's a fancier meal, so I try to match it for that. I mean, that lasagna menu is one of the saddest ones, I think. It was German ravioli and dumplings prepared by his mother and prison dietary staff. So the mother got clearance to go into the prison and cook that meal. When I started the project, I was at the University of Oklahoma, and well, the first call I made to the newspaper and to the prison was, why is this in the paper? And both the press and the prison warden said, the public wants to know. A lot of people share, I guess, my fascination with ritual of food in general, not about capital punishment particularly. So that's like the light, happy answer. But then there's the public wants to know side in Western culture, going back to, say, Europe and the gallows, and in England and public executions, everything about a crime, and the public wants to see all that. It's part of our history. So yeah, there's, I guess, maybe you could say a morbid curiosity of what that final meal would be. My long-term hopes for the project are that we stop having capital punishment, and then I stop painting plates.